Hey, I'm Red, and today we're going over everything that you need to know about the Gallant assault rifle in Star Citizen. All the way from completely stock with no mods or customization, to putting some rarer pyro barrel and scope attachments to use, as well as a bunch of custom paints and variants to make sure you're noticed by your victims before and after the fight. Let's get into it. Starting off, the Gallant rifle made by Clausen Werner is a burst fire only laser energy weapon, firing in both 3 and 5 round bursts, sending multiple bright red rounds to your enemies. With a 450 round per minute fire rate, with its 45 round battery that for now can't be recharged. The 3 round burst does 38 damage, and the 5 round burst does 63 damage with all of its shots landing against heavy armor. Meaning each single round does about 12.5 damage to heavy armor itself. Plus a listed range of 50 meters, but realistically able to go well past 300, especially as the laser rounds currently have no damage drop-off over range. The Gallant also has a very low and controllable recoil pattern, which allows it to hit those follow-up and burst shots easily. It currently weighs 13,000 micro SCU, with its batteries weighing 480 micro SCU each. And both of these weights are consistent with the other rifles in its category. With all of that info out of the way, we can get into the mods and customization of the Gallant rifle. Starting with the barrel options, fitting size 2 barrel attachments like the Tactics Suppressor 2, which reduces damage by 8%, but also reduces the audible range by 60%. It can also equip the E-Mod Stabilizer 2, which increases the audible range by 20%, and increases the recoil stability and smoothness by 30%. And of course we can't forget the rarer pyro attachment, with the E-Mod Tweaker Stabilizer 2, which increases the damage by 12.5%, the recoil stability by 15%, increases the recoil kick by 40%, the spread by 25%, and increases the cost of ammo by 100%. Which of course means it does more damage per hit, but you have half of the ammo to do it with. And as the amount of ammo is an odd number, and it fires in bursts of 3 and 5, when you double that it doesn't really add up mathematically. Which actually does cause problems. When you get down to the last couple rounds, the gun will not fire, and it also won't automatically reload as you'd have to have 0 bullets to do that. So every time you run out of ammo, you have to manually reload it. So with the laser barrel attachments out of the way, we can get into the size 2 optics and scopes. And as each optic has its own reticle and style, it's always a little bit more of a personal preference choice than the other attachments. So I'll go over the magnification options as well as which ones have low light toggles built in. Starting at the 1x magnification all the way up to the 4x optics. All of these have a low light variant which is labeled LL. And then there's one single 5x scope which is a built-in rangefinder and no low light option. Jumping over to the last attachment slot on the Gallant, it's time for the size 2 underbarrel options. With a ton of different colours available, we have the field lights and torch options, with red, purple, and the standard white light. These can be super helpful in dark and foggy areas, especially if your helmet torch is blocked by your weapon. Just keep in mind these change nothing about the weapon and are simply a light toggle. And the very last option for the underbarrel is the laser pointers, with a few different color options to choose from between green tracer lasers all the way to the red 250E laser pointer. And unlike the torches, all of these lasers actually reduce the weapon's spread by 12.5%. So with all of the important info and stats cleared up, it's worth mentioning the different paints and variants available. The Gallant has a pretty standard number of choices with 8 different paints available, plus the stock OD green one. Starting with the Boneyard, which is an off-white paint. The Red Alert is obviously a red paint. The Desert Shadow, which is a dark tan paint. The Executive Edition, which is gold of course. The Midnight Paint, which is a matte black paint. The Night Stalker, which is a dark green and black camo. The Stormfall, which is a grey digital camo paint. And the Warhawk, which is a green and brown camo paint. So there you go, that is absolutely all of the info you need to know about the Clausen Werner Gallant rifle. Let me know what you think about lasers versus ballistic FPS in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, Thanks for watching.